Naomi, you said before that you're studying marketing management. Is that right? Marketing
That's right,
management.
yeah.
Great. But you also have another role, don't you, here at the university? Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
I do. So I work as a student residential advisor, also known as an SRA. And as an SRA, that means I live on the residential campus and I provide low-level welfare support for students. So I deal with low-level welfare issues. There are multiple SRAs to a campus. On my campus, I'm at the Varley Park residence. So there are 8 of us, I believe. And then there are also SRAs for the Falmer accommodations, and there are SRAs for the Mithras, Morscombe accommodations, as well as the Phoenix halls, which are in the city. This role is, great. I'm really passionate about wellbeing and providing welfare support, so I'm able to do that. In my role, we host events for students, especially the welcome event at the beginning of the year. So this helps them to settle in, meet new people. And it's great because when I had arrived at the university, I was really nervous. I'm from South London, I'm Black, and representation's a really big thing. And I was fearful that there would be no one like me at the university. And when I moved in, I was actually greeted by an SRA who was also Black from South London, and we had a lot of other commonalities. So straight away, I felt represented and my nerves put at ease, and I knew I wanted to do that role. I wanted to be that representation for someone else. So a year later, I became an SRA, and I now provide not only representation, but also wellbeing support for students. And part of the role means that we're on call. So we have an overnight phone, and we'll take it in turns to have that phone for a week. And whenever students ring, we will answer the phone, no matter what time the phone rings. So I've answered calls at 2 a.m. and, I've left my accommodation, I've met the student in a public space, and we've spoken over a hot chocolate. We deal with issues from, loneliness, unfortunately bereavement, and they need a bit of support. But it's great to be able to know that you're making a difference, no matter how small. You can't help everyone, but I really believe everyone can help someone. And I think this is my way of helping someone.
Great. So on that first week of term, I'm just trying to put myself in the shoes of a new student.
Yeah.
So I suppose that first weekend when students move into halls, that's a really anxious time because people will literally know. Some people might not know anybody at all. Are there sort of things that you do? Do you organise? I think you mentioned sort of social events. Is that sort of, does that gear up in the first week of term?
Yeah, so when move-in weekend, when the majority have moved in, we host a welcome event, and that can range. They've had different ones in the past. Our recent one for this year, we had like tea and cake and like crisps, and it was like a little welcome party. We hosted that in the hub, which is where most of our on-site events will be. We host events like movie nights and smoothie nights and mocktail nights. So they really vary and they range. But at the beginning of the year, yes, we have students come to the welcome event. We even help introduce them to one another if that's something that they want and consent to. We also are aware of students who may need that extra support, so they're already on our radar, and we'll do pop-in visits to them just to ensure that they're doing okay. I remember when I was back in my first year, I wasn't necessarily homesick because I'd been away from home before, but I was just overwhelmed with nerves. I didn't step out of my accommodation. I didn't really engage in any of the fresher activities. But having an SRA, it makes all the difference.